At Thanksgiving, my sister declared I was no longer part of the family, unaware that I'd meticulously documented every cent I'd given them. During the dinner, she rose, her face glowing with a rehearsed smirk, and announced, "We've voted, and you're no longer family." The room erupted in cheers. I chuckled softly and said, "Then I suppose you won't need this." I placed a thick folder on the table. When she opened it, she let out a piercing scream. Before we sliced into the turkey, Jessica stood, her chair scraping the floor, that familiar smug grin plastered on her face. "We need to address something," she began. The room fell silent. Forks froze mid-motion. My chest tightened. I knew that tone all too well. It echoed the one Mom used when she grounded me at 15 for a party I never even went to. "We held a family vote," Jessica continued, her eyes sweeping the table like a politician savoring applause. "And we've agreed you're no longer family." Silence. Then claps. My cousin Sarah clapped like she was at a festival. Uncle Mark raised his glass in a toast. Even my mother snickered, saying, "Well, it had to be said." I sat there, stunned, staring at my plate. The mashed potatoes had gone cold, but my anger was simmering. My father didn't meet my gaze. He just took a swig of his beer and muttered, "Probably for the best." "Wow," I whispered, easing my chair back. "You planned this," Jessica said, her grin widening. "You've been toxic forever. We're done faking it." "You're not family," Mom added, reaching for the gravy as if we were discussing the forecast. "It's unanimous." I scanned the room. Not one person spoke up. "Fine," I said calmly. Then I reached into my bag. "I saw this coming," I said, pulling out a heavy folder and setting it on the table with a thud that cut through their laughter. Jessica blinked. "What's that?" she asked. I leaned back, arms crossed. "Why don't you open it?" She snatched it and tore it open, her lips curled in that snide smirk she wore when she thought she'd won. She flipped the first page, and her face drained of color. She scanned the next, then another. Then she screamed, a horror movie, blood-chilling scream. Her chair crashed backward as she leapt up, slamming the folder shut as if it had scorched her. "You're despicable!" she shrieked. "You twisted, pathetic freak!" Gasps rippled around the table. Her husband, Ethan, grabbed the folder and opened it. His jaw dropped. He looked at me. "Is this—" I nodded. "Every bit of it's true," I said. "Every word, every receipt, every screenshot." The room went deathly quiet. You could hear a spoon clink in the kitchen. My mother's mouth opened and shut, like a fish gasping for air. "You thought I'd just take it," I said softly, standing. "You thought I'd stay the quiet one, the pushover, the bank. But guess what?" I leaned forward, locking eyes with Jessica. "Your little performance is done. Want to know what was in that folder? I'll get to that. But first, let me explain how we ended up here." Jessica didn't just wake up one day and decide I wasn't family. That decision built over years, insult by insult, betrayal by betrayal. I was never their favorite. Far from it. Jessica was the golden child, with perfect grades, a dazzling smile, and a knack for stealing the spotlight. She could lie to someone's face and make them thank her for it. I was the quiet one, reserved, always in the background. They hated that I didn't crave their attention. They saw my silence as weakness. I moved out at 19, funded my own college, worked 2 jobs, and never asked for help. Meanwhile, Jessica flunked out of 2 programs, jetted off to Europe to find herself, and came back to marry Ethan, a walking corporate headshot. I paid for half their wedding. My parents couldn't cover it, but they managed a month-long vacation soon after. I didn't complain. I never did. Even when they called me the family bookkeeper, I kept helping. Covering Dad's medical bills, sending cash when Mom said the electricity was overdue, even footing part of Sarah's tuition when her scholarship fell through. They'd say thanks, but with that tone. The one that implied, "Of course you'd help. You've got no one else." And maybe that's what happened. I'm single, no kids, no spouse, no chaos, just me, my job, and my cat. To them, that meant I had nothing better to do than bankroll their messes. Jessica treated me like her personal safety net. When Ethan lost his job, she called me first. Just a small loan. When her car broke down, "You earn 6 figures. What's 3 grand?" When her kid needed therapy and insurance wouldn't cover it, guess who she texted? I always helped, always. Because I told myself that's what family does. But help became duty, then expectation, then demand. It started with subtle jabs at dinners. "Oh, you brought wine. Must be nice to afford the good stuff. You're always early. No kids to slow you down." I wish I could stay late at work and dodge my spouse, too. Then it got uglier. "You're so distant. No wonder you're alone. You don't get real stress. You don't have a real life. You're just jealous no one needs you, except they needed me constantly, financially, silently, behind closed doors." Then came the text. "Jessica, hey, Can you co-sign a loan for our new yoga studio? Ethan and I have a vision. A yoga studio. Really? I said no. Then, silence. 3 months of it. Mom stopped calling. Dad sent one-word replies. No one invited me to the last family dinner. Jessica blocked me online after posting about cutting out toxic people. But I didn't wallow. I started gathering evidence. I'm not careless. I kept records, bank transfers, emails, screenshots, dates. In 5 years, I'd sent over $82,000 to family members. $82,000. $9,000 for Ethan's therapy program. $2,500 for Jessica's emergency dental work, which was actually cosmetic crowns. $1,800 for Dad's knee surgery. $13,000 for Mom's credit card debt. $7,000 for Sarah's dorm fees. And $5,000 for a family crisis that was really a trip to the Bahamas. None of them offered to pay me back. They just took. And when I stopped giving, they decided I was the problem. So, I compiled the folder. Every bank statement, every email and text begging for cash, screenshots of Jessica calling me spineless to her friends when I refused the loan, a timeline of every major payment I'd made in 5 years. And for good measure, copies of social media posts mocking me. I had screenshots of Jessica calling me a walking ATM and a private group chat she didn't know I could see. That's what she saw in the folder. That's what made her scream. Jessica wasn't just exposed, she was dismantled. Fact by fact. Page by page. The family saw what they'd done. My mother looked like she might collapse. Ethan stared at a line about $4,500 for Jessica's credit card, used at a resort in Malibu with someone named Emma, and said, "What's this?" I didn't answer. I didn't need to. For once, I wasn't justifying myself. I was just showing the truth. "You kept records?" Mom finally asked, her voice shaking. "Everything," I said, turning to her. "You never noticed, so someone had to." Jessica stood, pale, fists balled. "This is an invasion," she spat. "You had no right to—" "No right?" I cut in, standing. "You stood up, told everyone I'm not family, got applause, and now you're mad I came prepared." Ethan flipped another page. "What's this about Malibu?" he asked, voice tight. Jessica's head whipped toward him. "Don't start!" "Who's Emma?" he pressed. "Why were you at a resort for 4 nights on my card?" Her silence spoke louder than words. "Hold on," Mom interjected, hands raised. "Can we all just calm down and talk rationally?" "Sure," I said. "Let's talk about when you called me a leech while depositing my check." She flinched. "That's not fair. We were stressed." "No," I snapped. "You were stressed, and I saved you. Every time. And the one time I said no, I became the villain." My father, silent until now, spoke. "You're blowing this out of proportion." I turned to him, voice low. "You let them do this to me for years. You saw it, heard it, and let it happen because it was easier than standing up." He didn't respond. Jessica slammed her hand on the table. "You're just bitter because no one needs you anymore." "Wrong," I said coldly. "I'm not bitter. I'm done." She gave a bitter laugh. "This is pathetic. A folder? Screenshots? You think this makes you the victim? You're just a control freak." "And you," I shot back, "only cared about me when I paid your bills." "You chose to help," she shouted. "You didn't have to." "And yet," I said, stepping closer, "you expected it every time until it stopped serving you. It was obligation. And when I stopped, you voted me out." My voice broke, not from sadness, but rage. "You didn't want a brother, you wanted a bank account." Ethan stood, clutching the folder. "Is this true?" he asked Jessica. "All of it." She looked at him, speechless for once. No crocodile tears, no deflections, just silence. "You lied to me," he said. "About the resort, the money, about him. You made him sound unhinged." "I had to," she stammered. "He was turning everyone against me." "I wasn't," I said. "You did that yourself." The room went quiet again. Mom leaned forward, voice soft. "Sweetheart, we may have overreacted, but we're still family. Families fight. Let's move past this." I cut her off. "You're not listening. I'm not asking for peace or forgiveness. I'm telling you I'm done." Jessica scoffed. "Stop acting like this is some grand exit. You've said that before." I met her gaze. "Not like this." I reached into my jacket and pulled out another envelope. "What now?" Dad asked, exasperated. I tossed it on the table. Ethan grabbed it before it slid off. He opened it, read the first line, and his eyes widened. "What is this?" he muttered. I answered. "Power of attorney for Mom, revoked. Medical proxy, revoked. Emergency contact, removed. Papers are signed." Mom gasped. You're cutting us off completely? Completely, I said. Starting now. You're selfish, she said, tears forming. We messed up, but we're still your family. I turned to her, voice steady. No, you're not. I grabbed my jacket, gave them one last look, and walked out, leaving them stunned amid their cold Thanksgiving meal and harsh truths. I didn't look back. Not because it didn't hurt, it did. But as I stepped off their porch into the chilly night, something shifted. I could breathe. I didn't go straight home. I drove to a lake I used to visit as a kid where Dad took me fishing. I sat there staring at the calm water, feeling something I hadn't in years. No guilt, no pressure, no one waiting for a handout or favor. Just peace. The next morning, silence. The day after, nothing. But on the third day, the messages started. Mom first. A missed call. Another. Then a voicemail. You really mean it? We were upset, but we're still family. I didn't reply. Jessica texted. You don't realize what you've done. Ethan's filing for divorce. Happy now. Something's wrong with you. Dad. You went too far. We all said things we regret, but this was extreme. Your mom's a mess. Fix this. I didn't respond. I expected guilt, sleepless nights, second guessing. Instead, I slept better than I had in years. No more analyzing texts, waiting for the next crisis, or late-night payment requests disguised as emergencies. For the first time in a decade, I could hear my own thoughts. I started waking early, jogging, making coffee slowly. I booked appointments I'd delayed for years. Dentist, doctor, therapist. Not because I was broken, but because I could finally prioritize myself. I updated my emergency contacts, removed my parents, changed passwords, froze joint accounts they could access. I blocked Jessica everywhere. It wasn't about revenge. It was about closure. A week later, a text from Sarah, who'd clapped when they voted me out. I didn't know you paid my tuition. I'm sorry. I just followed the crowd. You were always the one who helped. I read it twice but didn't reply. Then, a surprise. A message from Ethan. I filed the papers. Everything in that folder checked out. She cheated, lied, manipulated. Not just you, me too. You did the right thing. I should have left sooner. I didn't expect that. Days later, I did something I hadn't in years. I applied for a job in a new city. Not to escape, but because I was free. No more stay close for family. No more who'll take care of them. I reconnected with friends I'd drifted from, too busy with family drama. Oddly, some had seen my online post. They said, "We're proud of you. That took guts." No one asked for money or guilt-tripped me. Just pure support. Someone asked, "Don't you regret it?" I thought for a moment and said, "I only regret not doing it sooner." I thought that was the end. But with people like them, it's never clean. The first weeks post-Thanksgiving were quiet. No calls, no guilt, just calm. Then Christmas hit. On December 22nd, Mom sent a photo of their living room. Stockings, a half-decorated tree, an empty spot where gifts usually sat. Caption. It's not the same without you. Little Sophie keeps asking why Uncle's not here. I stared at it. No apology, no accountability, just the same manipulative tone. Look what you've done. I didn't reply. Jessica called on December 23rd. I let it ring. She texted, I know I screwed up, but don't punish everyone. Come for Sophie. She misses you. 2 minutes later. Also, Mom and Dad are behind on the mortgage. I know you don't care, but the bank called. Thought you'd want to know. There it was, the ask, always cloaked in guilt. I blocked her. December 24th, Dad texted, You made your point. Enough. We need help. We're still your blood. That night, I sat by my fireplace, sipping wine, in my quiet apartment. No tree, no chaos, just me and the solitude they said would break me. I felt thankful for it. In January, a call from an unknown number. I answered out of habit. Is this Michael? A man asked. Yes. Who's this? Mark. I'm calling for your father. He said you're the executor of the family trust. I froze. I revoked that role 2 months ago. It's finalized with the lawyer. My name's off everything. He paused. I see. Your dad said he couldn't reach you and asked me to check options. They're in a bind. Of course they were. Jessica and my parents were out of moves. The bank was closed. The safety net was gone. I hung up without another word. The final straw came in February. A handwritten envelope, Mom's writing. No return address. Inside, a 3-page letter. Page 1, regrets. We spoke in anger. You've always been our rock. We didn't realize how much we leaned on you. Page 2, sob story. Your dad's health is failing. Jessica's alone now. We're worried about Sophie. She's struggling. Page 3. The hook. We're selling the house but underwater on the mortgage. We just need a little help. One last time. Please, Michael, do it for your dad, for family. I sat with the letter, feeling the weight they wanted me to carry. Duty, guilt, the urge to fix their mess. Then I folded it, walked to the kitchen, and tossed it in the trash. They weren't asking for help. They wanted access again. Not to me, but to the version of me who never said no. That version is gone. I'm not their scapegoat or their cash machine. I'm not the glue holding their broken house together. I'm done. And the worst part for them, I'm thriving without them. I got the new job, moved to a bigger place, a fresh city. I started volunteering, not because anyone needed me, but because I wanted to. I built a life where no one texts at midnight to cover their mistakes, where I'm not punished for being self-sufficient, where kindness isn't a transaction. I don't regret helping them. I regret not stopping sooner. True peace isn't being surrounded by family. It's being free of those who only call you family when they need something. I didn't expect this post to get attention. I just needed to vent somewhere, but I read every comment. Thank you to those who said, "You're brave, and they don't deserve you." I didn't know how much I needed that. Some asked, what if they change? I've wondered that too. It's been months. They haven't changed. After the folder, the shouting, the silence, the letters, I hoped someone would get it, reflect, apologize. They didn't. They went quiet, then calculated, then desperate, then cruel again. As for me, I'm free. I moved. I have a job that doesn't drain me. I started therapy, real therapy, where you learn to sit with yourself, not fix everyone else. I cook for myself. I sleep well. I walk more. I don't jump when the phone rings. I think about Sophie, what she's learning, what she'll think is normal. But I know this. I'm showing her what it looks like to finally say enough. A few days ago, Mom sent another handwritten note. 3 words. We are still family. No context, no apology, just the same old bait. For the first time, I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, nothing. I tossed it and made dinner. I'm back here because this space gave me clarity. Strangers saw me better than my blood ever did. So I ask, did I do the right thing? Cutting them off, shedding the burden, saying no with certainty? Was I too harsh? Or was I just done being the only one holding it all together? I don't know. But I know this. For the first time, I'm not just surviving, I'm living. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.